How many of you can't afford the visit to the doctor? Yeah. I got a chance to experience what it's like to go to the hospital and to have bills skyrocket out of control, like many out here. All it takes is one injury away and you can be financially and you can be put in a bad situation. Let me just tell you that. I'm gonna just say that I understand why many people complain about the medical field, why the medical field just draining you from your resources. And it's wild because things that used to be taken care of when you pay for medical does not get taken care of anymore. You think about surgeries. If you don't have a certain medical field, like if you don't have a certain job, should I say, and it pays for a certain medical, which means everybody medical is not equal. I can tell you that. It seems like the more money you make, the worse your medical is off. The less you make, the better your medical is. That's what it seems to me. It's crazy because I had to come out of pocket just $1,000. I said just $1,000, whereas though I thought I would only have to pay maybe like $50 copay. No, I was mistaken. I went through surgeries before and I never had to come out of pocket like I did for my thumb. I almost lost my thumb. And it's crazy because if you go back to an old video I did, not an old video, but a video talking about how I almost went financially bankrupt, it's talking about that, how I almost went financially bankrupt because I was put out of work. But it's not about just being put out of work. It's about the cost that it's costing everyday people that's going to the hospital or they have medical, and it's costing them out of pocket, not including the co-pays that you've been paying. That's normal. But the money coming out of your paycheck is paying for medical. Separate from that, this is talking about the costs, the overhead costs that your medical don't cover. It covers, but it only covers to a certain percentage. And it's wild because it makes you understand why people are just frustrated with today's economy and the way people are just being treated. It's as if you're paying for a service that's really not covering you. It makes you wonder, why are we paying these fees? And then when we go to the doctors, we're no longer feeling like we're being covered on anything. It's like, damn, what if I just paid this out of pocket? And it's wild because even when you think about that, you'll look at the cost of something and it makes you wonder why they write prescriptions out to certain things. And when you look at it, you don't have a clue of what it is until you ask someone at the pharmacy, and they'll tell you, oh, this is just Advil. It's another type of Advil. So you'll ask them, okay, well, can I just get Advil? And they'll be like, yeah, you can. It make you sit back and say, wait a minute. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild how much we just being charged for something that's just simple, but we don't know the medical terms for certain things. And they got other medicines out here that are basically it's a basic knockoff of something else that we could have just bought off of the shelves. Don't even get me started, even when it comes for medical, when it comes to dental. The dental, man, I don't know what's worse, getting hurt or taking care of your dental. Right now I had to spend a good $3,300. Well, as of right now, I'm at 15, 16, and the rest of the money I have to spend is taken care of, that I will have to take care of. It's going to cost up to close to $3,300. $3,300 for one tooth. It was an abstract, and then all of a sudden they had to do a scan 2 months after having an abstract, and that was like $300. The first procedure was like what, $900 or something. So that's what, 12. And then, and the other one that I'm gonna have last is the implant. And the reason why, because they couldn't save my crown because the crown cracked. And by the crown cracking, they said they couldn't save it, but they could do another crown it would be cheaper, but they couldn't guarantee me. They could not guarantee me that it would save the tooth next to the crown, because it can end up becoming infected if I didn't take care of everything that I had to take care of at that appointment, which ended up costing me, it's going to cost me $3,300. It make me just really sit back sometimes and try to understand what is going on today. Like, they say cost of living is higher. Yeah, I get it. But it seemed like the things that we were able to get done before, it's just skyrocketed. But it's funny because you got people that's actually getting these same procedures done with no medical, but they going to other countries. Not to say, you know what I mean, it's getting done right, but from the looks of things, it look like it is. I don't know. Who knows? Because even the work that's being done here, you have to go back maybe one or twice. I had a dentist before that did work, and I felt like the work was horrible. And make a long story short, I had to go back, and he did not operate. He just didn't do a good job, to the point where I had to notify the insurance company. And what happened was they wouldn't do the work at the next dental place because my insurance company wouldn't cover it, because they said it was already done. So they literally I had to file a claim. They had to go back into the files and pull up the reports and see what work was done by this dental. This dent, my old dentist, what work was done. They had to go after them. They still would not do no work till they got the money back from them. Wild. It's like you're just being nickel and dime. Like, you just spending so much money just to get mediocre work done. And then when you get the work done, you out of pocket for something so simple. I'm not going to say so simple. It's important, but it also makes you also sit back and appreciate keeping up on yourself with a good dental hygiene. But even with that, I have my son that have to have dental work, and he's only 7. He's 7 now. And they went to pull the tooth out, and he just would not cooperate. Like, he was going, you got kids that's they terrified of dentists, especially when it comes to the needle and the numbness. They gonna go crazy, and that's what happened. And I could not calm him down. It's first time. So along with that, they was like, well, the other method is to put him to sleep. Along with putting him to sleep, that whole situation, I call it a situation, still didn't get it done yet. The place they recommended me to, so far, they fell onto my dental program. Anyone knows about the programs. And that's wild, because that was going to cost me $1,600. Yeah, you heard me right. $1,600. I'm trying to figure out how. Well, they putting him to sleep. And they're going to do all the teeth in the back. I'm just like, man. And that's just a kid. But it's wild because it's a long story how that happened. Like, his back teeth got bad. But it just made me just sit back and understand when that dude, Luigiani, however you say his name, y'all know what I'm talking about. How people was not in an uproar when he did what he did. Don't get me wrong, he was wrong. He was wrong. But most of us get it. We get it, we understand it, and it's sad because we're not even showing any type of compassion towards the person that lost their life. It's like he did everybody a favor, but in actuality, it was wrong. But this is why today people are just frustrated and they just up to their whips end, because you're spending so much just on everything else. But the medical field just adds so much stress to you, because you can still be healthy and still end up in the hospital like I did. I got injured. And not to say it wasn't my fault. It was my fault, but it was an injury that caused me to be out of work. But the thing is, being out of work, you still got medical. And just having medical, only thing they did do was give me stitches. And that was a $50 copay, emergency room. Had nothing to do with seeing a specialist. Specialist is covered under your medical. It's what they're going to do that's not going to be all the way covered. Talking about damn near maybe 80% of it's not going to be covered. It's just wild how we are in those times today. So I'm going to just say this. Whatever you do, if you can, be careful. And try not to do nothing extra so you don't harm yourself. I'm just saying, anything can happen though. Hey, good luck.